Oh, hello. I'm Liam O'Brien and welcome to my podcast. Now, to start off with, I would like to thank you for already helping to demonstrate one of the key points I'm going to make in this video. Online media has changed the way people communicate with one another. I know, this is not exactly a new thought in the realm of people who have studied communication techniques, but it still doesn't make the contention any less true. This view is further reinforced by Victoria Carty, who notes that the way people communicate has fundamentally changed with the advent of new information communications technologies, whether that be from email, even through to Snapchat. And not only can messages, photos and videos be sent instantly, they also have the potential to be spread far and wide through social networks. Look at this video as an example. You are either watching it through a video embedded in my blog available on WordPress or through YouTube itself, two online communication platforms. Now, when I discuss these media platforms with my own father, he is consistently amazed at how far technology has come over the span of his life, especially for someone who's now in his mid-60s but grew up as one of 13 in a two-bedroom house in a housing commission flat in Chadstone, who was constantly amazed by black and white TV even then. Further, Carty contends that new media technologies has allowed users to become creators and distributors of messages, not just someone who receives a message. Carty states the latest generation has an unprecedented degree of control over the production, distribution and consumption of information, and therefore over their cultural environment, which also has powerful implications for serious social and political change. And it is on this notion of social and political change through online media that I would now like to focus on. These online channels offer activists a quick and easy way to communicate with their intended audience, a view reinforced by Earl and Kimport, who noted that the web affords the possibilities of low-cost production, as well as freeing organisers and participants from the demands of co-presence. To help demonstrate the potential that online media has for activists, I would now like to focus on a specific case study from a couple of years back. Now let me set the scene for you. It's the middle of 2014. Hawthorn are on their way to winning their second consecutive AFL premiership. Guardians of the Galaxy is on the top of the Australian box office, and between July and August, what can only be described as an online phenomenon is sweeping social media. Now, rather than describing it to you, even though most of you would remember it, I figured it would be far easier to actually show you what I am talking about. Hi, thank you to Adam Brown for nominating me for the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Here we go. I'd next like to nominate Michael Wood, Luke Gordon and Gareth Bailey. Cheers. For those of you who have no idea what I was referencing by tipping a bucket of water over my head and showing off my pasty tan on the internet, it was in reference to what became known as the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, which was designed to promote awareness of the disease amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as motor neuron disease or Lou Gehrig's disease in other sections of the world. This disease is a neurological disorder in which the motor neurons that control muscle function slowly die. Now, to say this online movement was a success would be a massive understatement. There were over 2.4 million videos associated with the campaign tagged on Facebook, and it raised over $100 million to help with the research into the disease, not to mention the amount of discussion that the campaign generated in the wider population at the time. As demonstrated through the Ice Bucket Challenge, new online communication techniques can be identified as helping to drive a change in the development of persuasive techniques, as the behaviour or attitude change that the communicator is trying to elicit from the audience is now less dependent on expertise. As Carty notes, ordinary citizens equipped with tech-savvy sense now organise and hold politically orientated events to affect social change both in cyberspace and in local communities. The prevalence of technology in society can also be identified as a crucial factor in the success of this campaign, especially in the context of social media. As Kang notes, there are currently more cell phones in the United States than there are humans, and it means that the distribution of information is now immediate, often free, and in the hands of ordinary citizens. As Kanasaku Sarmiento notes, many long-standing businesses are obsolete, as digitised industries have replaced analogue ones. Polaroid declared bankruptcy with the introduction of digital cameras in 2001. iTunes replaced Tower Records as the largest music retailer in the United States, and the chain store Borders, which at one point had more than 1,000 stores throughout the United States, closed after the rise of e-reading technology such as Amazon's Kindle. However, although online media can be seen as helping activists in their attempts to drive change, it is important to note that technology by itself is actually neutral, and therefore in order for a campaign to be successful, it is the message that is important in driving the change. According to Charles Tilley, the three main elements of social movement are campaigns, which are organised efforts that have an end goal in mind, repertoires, or in another definition, tactics, and what he calls the WUNC, which stands for worthiness, unity, numbers, and commitment. Therefore, based on this definition, social media can only ever be identified as being part of the repertoire that activists have at their disposal. And as part of this, it is up to the audience to decide on the worthiness of the message they are presented with to help drive the overall success of the movement. Effectively, if the audience doesn't engage with the topic, it won't be successful. In conclusion, as demonstrated by examples such as the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, recently developed social media platforms offer activists the ability to communicate with audiences almost instantaneously across the globe. However, for a movement to be truly successful in initiating a change in its audience, it is still the content, message, and the cause itself which are the main components in driving the change in the audience, as social media is a neutral technology platform. Thanks a lot for tuning into the podcast, and all the best for the rest of your day. Cheers.